As I mentioned before tonight, about 15 years ago, we ended up coming to the Lodi Memorial, figuring I might last 5 or 6 years here, and here I am 15 years later, and glad that I'm here. Thank you. One of the real enjoyments for me, and I think the reason for the longevity, has been my relationship with the board of directors. Right? And I have the utmost trust, I think, in the board members who are really your representatives on the board, making sure that they're looking out for the best interests of the community and the decisions that are made at the board level. And a number of people have been on the board for the same number of years that I've been there. One of them is Annette Murdaka, who I think came shortly after I came, and has been not only just a super supportive board, not only for me, but I think for the community. Someone who consistently looks at the interests of the community and in the interests of all members of not only the employees of the hospital, but at the hospital itself. So I'm pleased to introduce to you one of our board members, Annette Murdaka. Annette?
Good evening, everybody. I'm so glad everybody's here. Isn't this a beautiful place? Thanks to Ryan Kern. She's such a talented young lady. You know, Cecil and Joe and Rob asked me to say something about our family and why we donate and why we do what we do. Well, first of all, we do what we do because we've been blessed. God's taking care of us 10 times over, and we feel like we need to pay back for all that He's done for us. So everything we do is spiritually based. And as you know, a lot of the things that I do in the community, I do for Lodi House and the Salvation Army, which is to help the homeless and to help women and children. But that's all great and fine, and I love to do that. But more importantly than that is the hospital. I find being on the board of the hospital is probably one of the most important things that I do. And the reason is because it has to do with our entire community. And it involves everybody, not just the women and children or the homeless. It involves you and it involves me. It involves the people that started it in the 1950s, which were the housewives and the farmers, the garbage men, the pizza makers, the engineers, you know, all the people where we came from. And I like to remember where we came from because there are people that gave their lives for that. And a lot of those people are the people that built the existing Lodi Memorial Hospital. And now they've passed the baton on to us. And it's our responsibility to make that continue. It's very important to keep Lodi Memorial Hospital independent. In this world today of corporate takeover, of Sutter, of Kaiser, we want to stay independent. And in order to do that, we have to gather together. We have to be a community. So why do we do what we do? Because at some point in our lives, my lifetime, my children's lifetime, my grandchildren's lifetime, we're all going to be here. We're going to need this facility. And so it's important to give not only out of your pocketbook, but out of your time and your talent. So if you don't have the funds to give, then give of your time or give of your talent. There's always something that the hospital can use or needs, volunteers. There's a laundry list of things to do. But think about when it's time for you to give at the end of the year, or if you're doing some kind of a plan, think of the hospital. Because your children are going to use this hospital, or your grandchildren are going to use this hospital, or your best friend, or your best friend's parents, or your sister-in-law, or your neighbor. We're all going to need Lodi Memorial Hospital. And it's going to be here for a long time, and it's going to be here for a long time because of all of you. It is truly a community hospital. And you know, a lot of people have said that Hutchins Street Square is the crown jewel of Lodi, and I agree, it is. But Lodi Memorial Hospital is the Hope Diamond, and we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility as Annette Murdoch, Cecil Gillen, Jim Murdoch, Mike Creed, Linda Creed, Joe Smith, Nancy Lawyer. We have responsibilities as individuals to shine that diamond, to take care of that diamond. It's a jewel. So that's why we do what we do, and I'm very proud to be part of Lodi Memorial Hospital, and even prouder to be a citizen of Lodi. Thank you.
Anyway, from Lisa, the kids, myself, we are very, very proud to be able to invest in the addition to Lodi Memorial, the South Wing. Something that's very important to us. I guess you put it in perspective, and it's kind of like Annette had said, that we look back to when our kids were born, 21 years ago, 23 years ago, whenever it may be, and the joy of those experiences. And then you take a look into the last year, couple of years myself, when both my parents were on their deathbeds at Lodi Memorial, and Lodi Memorial West, where I lost my mother last summer. But what I was able to see, the compassion, the love, the caring that the staff and those people were able to give to my folks, the whole gamut from the beginning of life to being on your deathbed. And I guess there's everything in between, which is the bruises, the broken bones, the bugs, the colonoscopies that we all face in between during all those years, and putting it in the perspective of really how important this facility is for the community of Lodi. And taking that a step further is just a mere fact. Take a peek. Actually, I wasn't born at Lodi Memorial. I was in Mason Hospital. I think I was about a year away, 53, 54. But the growth of the community, and what are we now? I think we're fivefold larger than we were when this facility was first started. And so, needless to say, I think we are at a really critical era, important era, in the need for the South Wing, and the need for what everything this wing can bring to the community. And so, with that being said, I think that this is a legacy, kind of an opportunity for an awful lot of us that have the very good fortune of contributing and investing in Lodi Memorial Hospital. And we are very pleased and proud to be part of that. And with that being said, there's also another component to this that's really fun as I'm getting a little bit older, and that is the fact that there's so many of my contemporaries that have played key roles in this. I mean, from Joe and Jan, who I go back to since we were kids, and all the way down the line with Annette and Cecil, Randy. I can look at almost everybody on the board, and I know them, I respect them, and all they are doing for the community. And this is something that is extremely special. It's a time in our lives that we can grab onto something and make a legacy out of it and change the community. And for any of you out there that may be taking a peek at this and kind of wondering whether or not you would want to be part of this legacy, there's no better time, nor is there a better place. So, thank you.